I'm curious about which part of the tariffs that Canada has announced are still kind of a work in progress, because there's so many different moving parts here, especially when you talk about steel and aluminum imports, which kind of go both ways.
That's right. So Canada has announced $30 billion worth of retaliatory tariffs set to come into effect tonight, or tomorrow morning at midnight, I should say. So they're coming in very soon. They are on steel, aluminum, consumer goods, and electronics. And that's in addition to $30 billion in retaliatory tariffs we've already imposed on March 4th. And that was on a wide array of products that were seen as being politically sensitive in the US. So things like Florida orange juice or Louisiana coffee, Kentucky bourbon, things that would hit home in red states and cause a lot of pressure to go onto the president. So, this is Canada reacting very swiftly and dollar for dollar in response to Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs. And we still have a much wider tranche of retaliatory tariffs that are set to come into effect on April 2nd, when those reciprocal tariffs come into effect. So there is still more pain to come, but the Canadian government signaling very clearly today that they are going to hit back hard and not stand for this.
You said Canadian government. Quick question here. Who exactly is calling the shots in Canada? Because we know that Doug Ford, the Ontario Premier, was in Washington, or is in Washington today. Of course, you have Mark Carney, the newly elected Liberal Party leader, who is the Prime Minister designate, who needs to call elections.
That's right. Yes, we are in a bit of a messy situation. There's a bit of a leadership vacuum. Justin Trudeau is technically still our Prime Minister. He has not done any public events since Sunday, when Mark Carney was selected as the Liberal Party of Canada leader and Prime Minister designate. We expect Carney to be sworn in officially as Prime Minister Thursday or Friday. But until then, you're kind of seeing premiers such as Ontario Premier Doug Ford step in to fill that space, that gap left behind. Now, this morning, Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc and Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly held a news conference to announce the retaliatory tariffs. So they remain very much, at the head of the government. And Joly said she would meet with Marco Rubio this week in Quebec, where a G7 foreign ministers meeting is taking place, and raise these concerns with him directly there. So we still do have sort of the Trudeau government calling the shots as Carney waits in the wings to be sworn in.